outstanding fast bowler from a country that neither developed nor encouraged pace bowling. He could score centuries at better than a runner ball. He played with pride and passion and always to win. Charismatic, aggressive and headstrong.
Oh, and he's got him.
Kapil Dev was an outstanding cricketer. Good batsman, good bowler, someone who could change the game with either bat or ball.
You know, whenever India was in trouble through the 80s, the ball would be tossed to Kapil Dev and he would have just bowled a 12-over spell and would take a breather for 10 minutes and the ball was back at him.
And again, he carried the seam attack for India for, it seemed like about, well, forever. You know, just seemed to keep on going and going. And what more can you say about the guy? He was dangerous, and you only had to see some of the knocks he played, particularly in World Cup and one-day games for India. Magnificent.
The 1983 World Cup final at Lord's. Kapil Dev's Indian side set the West Indies a modest target of 184. Most observers expected the Windies to make the runs with ease, but Kapil had the last word.
That's out. Yes. Tremendous performance by this Indian side. And here's a man who's been largely responsible for it over the last 2 years.
I saw him lifting the World Cup, and that's a fond memory. No Indian can forget about that.
Within 12 months, Kapil became the youngest and quickest player to take 100 Test wickets and score 1,000 Test runs, beating records set by Graham Mackenzie and Ian Botham.
Kapil Dev's batting is always something that's tended to be overlooked when you look at his performances purely and simply because he took 434 Test wickets. Generally, people don't look beyond those sorts of figures, but his batting was top class because he scored Test hundreds against the West Indies as well, and that was always a benchmark of the era that Kapil Dev played in.
In January 1980, Kapil Dev took 11 wickets and made 84 runs to steer India to its first series win against Pakistan since the early 50s.
I can always remember an one-day innings he played at the Gabba against us, where he hit our bowlers all round Brisbane, it seemed, and one of them, Jeremy Coney, took out the white handkerchief from one stage and just surrendered to him because he'd hit the ball so hard and so often.
You know, there was a series in Pakistan a little before that. And when all of a sudden India used to be 6 wickets down and we thought, normally the 3 spinners came on, they were great bowlers, but they weren't great batsmen. And suddenly here was this man who was taking on the opposition fast bowling. And the amount he grew between that first series and this test match where he scored, he took the 11 wickets and scored runs very quickly. It was astonishing. I don't think I've seen anyone grow in 10 or 12 months as much as Kapil Dev did.
An outstanding effort that comes to mind is Lord's. When you're looking to save the follow-on, 24 required. What does he do? He doesn't block. It's 4 sixes and only once did he step out of the crease.
They needed 24 to save the follow-on, and 4 in a row. Kapil hit him onto the covers at the nursery end, just standing down there, the covers spread out. And I remember it because a good mate of mine who was doing the sponsoring of the covers.
Kapil enjoyed great success on the 1982 tour. He became Indian captain and within a year would lead his country to their greatest ever cricketing triumph.
The Indian skipper has done a tremendous job to get back there. Marvellous running catch.
What else do you need from a captain? He gave a performance where he showed the rest of the team that this is what is required of us, and he was a great motivator.
Big appeal there for LBW. It's given him, and LBW straightening down the line, and 400 wickets for Kapil Dev, the second man in the history of the game of cricket.
In his later years, Kapil's bowling was more stock than strike. Season after season of shouldering the load had worn him down. On the 1991-92 tour of Australia, Kapil seemed a rejuvenated bowler.
He was a fighter to the core. He would accept challenges. The more the challenge, the better he would perform. I think that's a quality in any great player, and that is the quality Kapil Dev also, had.
This was a simple guy who had all the vulnerabilities of the common man, but went out because he was a great athlete and he had cricket talent.
He was the most naturally gifted player, and you could see that when he ran into bowl or he played those pull shots, that this is a guy who was born to play cricket.
All-rounder, particularly on the subcontinent, that won't be forgotten.
I think that Kapil Dev's greatest attribute was his calmness. Played against him perhaps 2-3 series. Never saw him lose his cool on the cricket field. Never saw him get harsh or hard on his teammate. I think that is what helped him to motivate his team and to lead his team. I think that was one of his strengths, or perhaps his greatest strength apart from his cricketing ability.
I remember that era, Imran Khan, Grady and Botham, Richard Headley and Kapil Dev. They used to compete against each other. I used to see their records, I used to see their wickets, their scores, and they were like big. They were giants of the game.
Bowlers wanted to always become like Kapil Dev and the batters wanted to become like Sunil Gavaskar.
He will be a legend always. People will always remember the magnificent feats that he achieved with bat and ball.
And even now, you know, Kapil Dev is still the hero with the masses of India.
I feel very proud and happy. I was a part of 1983 team. I was a part. Forget about captain. I was a part of a something we started in this country. That's what we believe. That calls self-belief in sportsmen, not in cricket, in sports and sports girls. They all start believing they can achieve it. And that was the best part happened about 1983. My team, our team, your team. My friend said once, Kapil, keep your eyes and ears open while sleeping. You will be successful. And I start wonder, am I Jadbuddhi? What he's saying, keep your eyes and ears open while sleeping. He said, don't literally go what I said. The meaning is, keep your eyes and ears open all the time. You will be a successful man. And that day I learned from all my captain, what do I have to pick from where? Like Bishan Singh Bedi, my first captain, I enjoyed. He had a big heart, very big heart, typical Sardarji. Not bothered about what happened on the field sometime, but played with a passion. And I said, that's a good, he has a heart. And then next captain come out, Sunil Gavaskar. He didn't have a big heart, but big thinking he had. He used to think a lot. And I said, I want to be like Bishan Singh Bedi off the field. On the field, I like to be like Sunil Gavaskar. And that's what I understood. Keep your eyes and ears open. So start learning. You may be leader, you may be inborn thing you have, but you can pick up a few things from somewhere and add to your strength. So Sunil gave me, he started planning how to do that. And then it come to the agriculture stuff, which they didn't have, both of them. They only have culture. You require agriculture also sometimes, hitting below the belt. In sports, there's nothing wrong. But not like Virat Kohli, who bounced before even you say hello.
Kapil Dev played in 131 Test matches. He retired as the leading wicket-taker in Test match cricket. He played in 225 one-day internationals. He took 253 one-day wickets. For 6 years, he was the leading wicket-taker in one-day internationals.
खास दिन है जी। रणभूमि शूरवीरों की जान होती है, कुर्बानी शहीदों की महान होती है। यूं तो करोड़ों लोग आते जाते हैं इस दुनिया में, पर कपिल देव साहब वो योद्धा हैं जिनसे हिंदुस्तान की पहचान।